finished second in group in the CONCACAF tournament in January in Jamaica, and then defeated El Salvador in the semifinal match to earn their place. Here are the substitutes rounding out the team sheets tonight for the United States and Myanmar.
Well, there's quite a quality of players for both sides to see who comes in this match.
And it starts tonight for the United States at the Northland Events Center. Thank you for joining us for our coverage of the FIFA Under-20 World Cup in New Zealand here on Fox Sports 1. Mark Followell and former U.S. international, the most capped player in U.S. men's national team history, Kobe Jones. And early trouble here with the United States giving the ball away, and a player for Myanmar, Ong Tu, goes down in the box. And a nervy moment for the United States in the opening minute of the match against the minnows of Group A, as you recalled them.
Well, this is exactly how you do not want to start if you're the United States, giving up an early ball in your own defensive third and allowing the star player for Myanmar, Ong Tu, to have a chance early on. They've got to settle down. The first few minutes are very important in this match.
Kellen Acosta, injured in the second match of the CONCACAF qualifying tournament against Panama. He's in the lineup tonight at left back. Hyman, the defensive midfielder, sitting in front of the back four. And now a chance to possess the ball here for the United States. Here in the second minute of the match. A moment ago, we were talking about hopes for a better showing than 2013. Whenever the United States managed only one draw and 2 losses in group play, they were in the group of death in 2013. Falling to Ghana 4-1, to Spain 4-1. They did draw France, the eventual champions of the tournament, 1-1. Shaq Moore was up on the right for the United States. Moore, 18 years old, from Powder Springs, Georgia. Interesting story, finally signed with a team. He was without a team for a year, but has signed on with Huracan Valencia, 3rd division team in Spain.
Interesting choice for Shaq Moore, but when we look at him as a player and what he gives to this side, those outside backs are how the U.S. likes to attack. Shaq Moore, he has an engine where he's going to be up and down all day on the right-hand side.
On the other side, it's Acosta tonight at left back rather than Jean Raquel, who played every minute of the CONCACAF tournament. A throw here for the United States in the attacking third. As on the back line, Tia Tiao Ong for Myanmar concedes the throw. Now back to goal for Hyman. Working along the touch line on the right, Jordan Allen got his first touch of the match from Real Salt Lake and ends up conceding a throw to Myanmar. Allen, 10 appearances at Real Salt Lake this year with a goal and a couple of assists. And did play twice for the under-20s at their training camp and the matches they had in Austria in April against Qatar and Croatia. Crossfield ball here by Myanmar is given away. That was Acosta who stepped up and chested it down. Acosta goes down, and the first foul of the match is given here in the 4th minute.
You can see very early on the U.S. is pushing those outside backs up. Acosta's very willing to get forward and actually play in the midfield for the United States. It lets you know that the United States is feeling confident with their defensive formation.
On the left, Joel Senora. Possession here for Myanmar after the foul. Senora at the academy for the great club in Argentina, Boca Juniors, but was born in Dallas, Texas, while his dad, Diego, was playing in the first year of Major League Soccer for the Dallas Burn. After the first foul on the United States, header flicked forward, and Matt Miazga's back. Miazga's been very solid this year for New York Red Bulls and had to make a play defensively, and then Shaq Moore clattered into. And the second foul on Myanmar, as you see Tan Pai, who had the goal that put them through, scoring against the United Arab Emirates in the quarterfinals of their qualifying tournament last October.
Yeah, right now, Myanmar does not seem too concerned that it's the United States that they're going up against. Tan Pai very willing to go in and battle and challenge on every single ball.
Well, Gerd Saizi did say before that it would be David versus Goliath. Now on to the right, here's Rubio Rubin. Rubin gets his first touch of the match. just joined up with the team, one of the last players to be able to arrive in Australia before they made the journey to New Zealand to finish up training and preparations for the Under-20 World Cup, as he had just ended his season in the Eredivisie at Holland. At Utrecht, scored 3 goals, had 29 appearances in all competitions this year.
Well, he's a quality player, but the one thing I get out of that you have to realize is a lot of these players came into camp right before the World Cup at different times, so it's only a week or so that every single player has been here and able to actually get an understanding of each other.
Rabin, 19 years old, from Beaverton, Oregon. And again, one of the last arrivals. Now with the foul given here, Shaq Moore involved at that play. It is the first set-piece opportunity for Myanmar. A low and poorly struck free kick is cleared, but only as far as the captain, Nanda Chiao, and then Tai Ong, a long-range shot that brings about Zach Steffen's first save.
Well, that was a brilliant shot from distance. And what I took out of that as well is the follow-up. You had 3 players from Myanmar charging in while the U.S. was kind of slow to react.
Mong Sol, and there's an obvious foul that's called here against Cameron Carter-Vickers.
Well, this is the shot from distance, and look at the players from Myanmar charging in, but luckily enough, Zach Steffen holds on to it, doesn't give up any rebound.
Tai Ong, some pace and power on that shot. Down to his left, Zach Steffen making the first save. And Myanmar just had a set-piece opportunity a moment ago, their second free kick. Carter-Vickers, the center back, who committed the obvious foul. Here is Nanda Chiao, the captain. Chiao over this free kick here for Myanmar. Still some jostling in the wall between one player for Myanmar, Mong Sol, one of their forwards, and 3 men in the wall for the U.S. Now Nanda Chiao, left-footed strike blocked by the wall. And maybe a chance for a counter, but the U.S. can't hold possession. Now Tai Ong, who had the shot a moment ago, slips and loses possession, but at the halfway line, Myanmar able to send the ball back in. Ong 2. Running it behind him is Moore.
Well, one of the things, talking to Tab Ramos, one of the things he said that had to be matched was the energy that Myanmar was going to come out with, especially early on in this match. So far, I think the U.S. is a little bit lacking. Myanmar seems to be taking it to them right now, and the U.S. is having a difficult time getting out of their own half.
This Group A draw setting the stage for perhaps a good run for the United States. They have not reached the knockout stage of this tournament, the Under-20 World Cup, since 2007. Didn't qualify in 2011. Last time they won a match was against Cameroon in Egypt in September of 2009. Well, the opportunities over the last 2 or 3 minutes, all Myanmar. They've had 2 free kicks. Now they'll have their first corner to Steffen's right. 9th minute of the match at the Northland Event Center in Whangarei, New Zealand. And bent in front and loose right in front, and a score for Myanmar. Myanmar has shocked the United States here in the 9th minute. Jan Nai-U has scored for Myanmar to put them in front.
And there's just too much going on in front of Zach Steffen. As you can see, the numbers are there. And this is what Myanmar wants, as Jan Nai-U is standing right in front. And as Steffen comes out, he's got to do a better job of clearing that. He's got to get his fists on it and get that out of the box if he's coming out of the area. And then it just falls to the feet of Jan Nai-U, and there's not a whole lot you can do when it just falls to a player's foot about 2 yards out.
19-year-old Jan Nai-U has scored Myanmar's first World Cup goal. It will be one he'll remember for a lifetime, and it comes against the United States. Perhaps the favorites in Group A, Myanmar has taken an early lead with a 9th minute goal off the corner. Bernard Camille, the referee. And now, what must be going through the minds of Tab Ramos and his young team right now?
Well, I think Tab Ramos has to be concerned right now with the way that his team has started this match. And really, when it comes down to it, there's nerves, yes, and you want to weather the storm the first few minutes. U.S. has failed at that point so far. Their passing isn't quite right. They need their leaders. They need Hyndman and they need Sonora to get on the ball and calm the team down a little bit. And then, look, it's early on. It's not even 10 minutes into the match yet.
To your point about the passing not being crisp and on target, you saw that ball to the midfield a moment ago, just given away by Cameron Carter-Vickers. The end result is Myanmar with a throw near the halfway line. A touch for Chow Min Oo. Back to Miyoko Tong. And played out. Moore will put the ball in play here for the United States. Ong Tu settles at the halfway line. Tai Tai Ong along the back line. To the right side, that's Mong Mong Sol for Myanmar. They get a ball into the middle, trying to settle. Jan Nai U with the goal for Myanmar, 9th minute. Now running it out was Marky Delgado. Playing for Toronto FC this year after 3 seasons with Chivas USA. Delgado a touch. Back by Acosta. Those center backs for the United States, we noted earlier, Miazga for New York Red Bulls. Flag is up. Cameron Carter-Vickers playing at the academy for Spurs, Tottenham Hotspur, after being born in England.
When we take a look at what the U.S. is trying to do, as we see Myanmar is playing a very high line. And as this ball goes over the top, maybe a yard offside, but this is exactly what the U.S. needs to do. They're holding on to the ball right now. Get the passes in and settle the team down, and then try to play in, a ball back out, and then over the top.
And a deep ball off the restart.
Those are the little hesitations. Those are the little mistakes. A ball like that shouldn't drop. Someone needs to step in and try to head that one back out.
Myanmar's 3rd foul. There's Delgado to Acosta. Acosta under the high pressure from Mong Mong Sol on the right. With back to Carter-Vickers. U.S. looking for an opportunity to get forward, but covered well by Tai Tai Ong. And then volleyed up to the halfway line. Big step up by Matt Miazga. Keeps this in the attacking half of the United States. But Jordan Allen had the ball tackled away. Now for the U.S., Joel Senor. And a foul given here. Free kick coming up. As we have not had a chance to say the name of Mackie Tall. He was on the end of that foul from Nanda Chow right here. Late on the challenge.
Very late on the challenge, and this is a great opportunity. And this is what Tall needs to do more of. Get into those dangerous positions. Force the defense of Myanmar to go down, to go to ground. And he'll pick up fouls, or he'll get behind, and then that opens up any crosses or shots on goal.
Well, it was off a set piece for Myanmar to score their first goal in the 9th minute. Now the United States with a great free kick opportunity.
And a distinct advantage for the United States as far as height in this situation. And what we've seen in Myanmar in the past, they play a little bit of a zone defense. As you can see, Miazga is standing with no one within 4 or 5 yards of him right now. He's got to be the target.
Mu Min Lots is the keeper for Myanmar. Emerson Hyndman is ready to take the free kick now for the United States against a 3-man wall from Myanmar, who scored in the 9th minute, the first goal of the Under-20 World Cup after a goalless draw between New Zealand and Ukraine. Free kick served in. And you can hear there are plenty of Myanmar supporters at the Northern Events Center in Whangarei. They've got a chance to counter off a well-defended free kick. Myanmar building up down the left. They've got 4 players, now 5, as they bring the ball into the box. Emerson Hyndman, though, good work.
Excellent work by Hyndman just to stand him up defensively, making sure that he forces the player back instead of getting the cross in, and not making any silly fouls in the dangerous area.
There was concern in that one sequence in the opening minute of the match when Myanmar got the ball in the box at a dangerous area and a player went to ground, but nothing occurred there. The trouble started for the United States a few minutes afterwards. Went off a corner. Myanmar scored. Nanda Chow, he's the captain. And play has stopped. Myoko Toon, who scored twice in a final against Vietnam whenever Myanmar won the Southeast Asian Nations Youth Tournament last year. Myoko Toon was the player down. There's Gerd Saizi, the German head coach for Myanmar. Played back to the keeper, Mu Min Lot. 20 caps at the youth levels for Myanmar. Argentina has gone in front in Group B. A goal in the first quarter hour of the match has put Argentina in front of Panama, one of the 4 teams to qualify from CONCACAF. Panama won the group that the United States was in. They defeated the United States on a goal by Carlos Small in the second match of group play, and that was enough to stand up and send them automatically into the final, where they lost to Mexico on penalties.
We'll take a quick look at that foul. And you're going to see a lot of this in this game. Just the energy is high. These young men, you know, there's just bundles of energy right now, and they're going to go into anything. Any tackle, everything is going Myanmar's way right now. The United States needs to take advantage of these set pieces whenever they can.
And this is a delivery from Miazga to the left-hand side. Acosta could not get on the end of it. Cleared by Mong Mong Sol for Myanmar. Now Acosta. Acosta whips in a cross. Oh, and a dangerous ball played back by the defender for Myanmar. Tia Tao Ong. This is a very dangerous play here.
And this is why Acosta's on that left side, because he can get up into the wing. Puts a dangerous low ball, hard and low, and then really comes down to Tao Ong that clears that over the top.
Heinemann with the U.S. in their first corner, and it comes right across the face of goal, and the United States is equalized on the back post. It's Mackie Tall who has scored. 17th minute, 1-1, United States and Myanmar.
This is what we talked about with the United States on these set pieces. Look how Myanmar plays pretty much in a zone, and they allow Carter Vickers to be by himself, get a running start of 3 or 4 yards, and then it's a little redirect, and Mackie Tall standing there at the back post where he can just tap this one in. He does a little bit more with it where it's a nice drive, but a brilliant opportunity. Great goal by Mackie Tall.
And for Mackie Tall, this is the 3rd goal that he scored since playing for the United States under-20s in 2015. In the build-up to the tournament, he had a chance to score last week against Australia. And in the 17th minute tonight, he has equalized for the United States after, I'm sure, mouths were agape after seeing Myanmar score in the 9th minute. Mackie Tall has leveled the match at 1-1. Now here's Acosta down the left. Throw for Myanmar. Kellen Acosta, 6 appearances with FC Dallas in his 3rd season with FC Dallas. We had a look at Joel Mackie Tall, who was born in Washington, D.C., but has spent much of his life living overseas. In France is where he plays, and here he is on the ball on the left side. Scored for the right side last time, and whips the ball right in front of the face of goal, where it's caught and collected, and Mu Min Lot, the keeper for Myanmar, plays out of the back.
Well, Mackie Tall does a good job of actually getting around Tai Ong on that left side, but it really is for him. He's got to do a better job of getting that cross in, because he actually has been just waiting for it on the inside. We're seeing the U.S. is settling down a bit and creating opportunities.
But now here's Ong Tu. Ong Tu, dangerous goal scorer, and the foul here. That is Acosta with the challenge. And the linesman was there to make the call, just in case the referee from Seychelles, Bernard Camille, did not. Here's Acosta coming in on Ong Tu on the challenge.
Now Acosta comes in hard on that one, and to be fair, he goes over the ball a little bit and catches a little bit of the foot. So I agree with the referee on that one for the foul.
Myanmar scored off a corner earlier. They've had 1 shot on goal off a second ball in from a free kick. Now Nanda Chow on the right-hand side with a two-man wall for the United States. Just a yard or two inside the 18. Nanda Chow. And a foul in the box on a collision. Down went Matt Miazga. And as Miazga goes down, this will be possession for the United States. Just 4 minutes off their goal to level the match at 1-1 when Macky Tall scored. He's playing in France. For those who are unaware, Lille is the team that he is signed for. But he's been loaned out. He's played for Lille's reserves, and he's loaned out to a third division team in Paris, Red Star, who's just been promoted to the second level in France.
And what a nice little surprise for the USA to be able to find a player like Macky Tall. And what we've seen so far, we take a look here, it's just about a yard offside, a quick step up by the Myanmar defense. But for Macky Tall, he's a goal scorer. He finds a way to put himself in dangerous positions, and that's something that you can't train. Either you have it or you don't. You know where to be inside the box and create chances and score goals.
Has played at youth levels not only for the United States, obviously, but also France and Ivory Coast as well. Miazga looking to win the header. Now struck down by Chow Min Oo for Myanmar. Macky Tall pressing, almost forced a giveaway. The United States starting to press more as Myanmar holds it in their defensive half. Hyman wins a header.
The U.S. is definitely stepping up in the midfield and actually getting into tackles a bit more. Just using the physical aspect, their dominance physically over this Myanmar side.
Carter Vickers was able to see out the trouble there a moment ago with a clearance. But now Myanmar again, they had a player down a moment ago as Ong Tu gives the ball away for Myanmar. Myanmar has it right back. Mong Mong Sol, number 8 on the right. He has it again. Looking to put the cross in. He was 1-2-1 against Acosta. Try to work a 1-2 here. Ong Tu could not get back on possession for Myanmar. And now a chance to hit back quickly. There's the goal scorer, Macky Tall. A little toe poke from behind by Momo Lewin for Myanmar.
There was no awareness by Tall that a player was coming from behind to poke that ball away. And you can see he's actually saying, someone talk to him. Give me a shout. And this is the reaction afterwards once the ball's stolen. You know, a little bit of frustration, just a little swipe at the player's legs.
Little tug on the shirt of Chow Min Oo. There are a handful of these players from Myanmar who've been capped at their senior national team level, and the aforementioned Chow Min Oo is one of them with 2 appearances. Zach Steffen comes out to catch and plays out of the back, just over the midway point of the first half. You saw a moment ago, much like the United States and Myanmar, after Argentina scored early, Panama has come back, by the way, to equalize in that Group B matchup. Panama really showed out well in the CONCACAF tournament. It'll be interesting to see how they fare in the Under-20 World Cup. Here's Macky Tall, trying to thread the needle for Rubio Rubin. Ball blocked by Jordan Allen, throw conceded.
First look at a little bit of the action where the United States takes that first goal. And the celebration by Myanmar, they had to be excited at that point. And here is the response by the United States with Macky Tall. Right place, right time. There's the goal scorer.
Third goal in 2015 for the under-20s for Macky Tall. Now an opportunity here for Heinlein. A collision and he loses possession. And Myanmar looking for build-up here. Ong Tu. He's marked by Delgado. And Acosta will throw for the United States. Going down the left flank. Rubio Rubin, the player closest. Was not part of the team for the CONCACAF Under-20 Championship. Rubin, that is.
And that's the funny thing when we always talk about World Cups at any level. There's always a group that's together during the qualifying process. But just the nature of the game, the nature of sports and tournaments, it always switches up a little bit as some players fall out, they're out of form, and the coach always decides to bring in some new blood.
Still a pretty fair number, though, Kobe, for the United States. 11 players are on this roster that were on the CONCACAF Under-20 Championship roster in January.
Yeah, fair number indeed. Like I was saying, there's obviously some new blood in here. It switches things up a little bit for the United States.
And here's some of that new blood right now. Joel Senor, he wasn't playing in January because he was injured at the Boca Juniors Academy at the time. Now on two. Myanmar trying to hold possession of the midfield, and they are able to hold it enough to draw another set piece. Another opportunity here for Myanmar in the 26th minute. Could hear Tab Ramos along the bench telling Joel Senora to position in the wall. Attempt from long range coming here for Myanmar. Winners in group play of their qualifying tournament against Thailand, 3-0. And along with a goalless draw against Yemen, that helped put them through to the knockout stage, where in the quarterfinals they defeated the United Arab Emirates on a goal by Tan Pai. And now here's Tai Tai Ong. We've seen him strike with pace and power already from distance in this match, but did not get nearly as much of that pace and power on that shot attempt. Ong two. Lays it off out on the right. Mong Mong Sol across. Momolo in. Nudges it back here. Myanmar. Tai Tai Ong. We've seen that powerful right foot. Oh, here's a header driven for the top of the box by Tan Pai. Pai had the winner against United Arab Emirates, as we noted earlier, and we see the header from 18 yards out.
And there's just too much space right there that Matt Miazga's got to get a little bit closer, not allow free headers from the 18. It's a bit far out, but still, at this point in time, everything's got to be precise and safe.
Nearly give it away, but back on it, Margie Delgado. Delgado's been a fixture for the United States at the under-20 level in 2015 after the tournament. After the CONCACAF tournament, that is. Now Mackie Tall, the goal scorer. And he goes down. That is right outside the box. And the first card of the match, Nanda Chow, the captain for Myanmar, shown yellow by Bernard Camille, the referee from Seychelles. Chow in the 28th minute whenever he was booked.
And let's take a look at this and be fair. That's a great tactical foul by Nanda Chow because Tall was in. He would have been inside the box, and that would have been a dangerous position for the United States to be on one-on-one with the keeper.
Saw a cover from the back coming from Tia Tiao Ong. From 20 yards, the United States, both goals in this match have been scored off set pieces. They've both been off corners. Myanmar building their wall. Chow, who just received the yellow, is in it. Hyman, the grandson of Shellis Hyman, great collegiate coach, formerly in Major League Soccer, also at FC Dallas, playing in the English Championship at Fulham. Hyman taking the delivery, comes right back to him. Second ball in through the traffic. And a save by Mu Min Lat, the keeper from Myanmar.
What a nice strike on that follow-up from Hyman. Actually, nice little side volley.
Nice effort by Hyman. And now here's pressure from Myanmar. Shaq Moore, though, able to shepherd that all the way over the byline for a goal kick for Zach Steffen.
Well, here's a look at that rebound that comes up. It goes through the bodies in there, but Lott does an excellent job of covering up off the shot by Hyman.
Here's Joel Senora.
That's it.
And Senora loses possession. It's closed down by Ong Tu and Momo Lewin. Ong Tu. Shoulder into that challenge. And this will be a throw here for Myanmar. Half hour played. Goals in the 9th and 17th minutes for Myanmar and the United States. Momo Lewin, or Mong Mong Sol, beg your pardon, number 8 for Myanmar with the throw that travels all the way through to the waiting hands of Zach Steffen. Steffen, after 2 years collegiately at Maryland, is signed to Germany. Freiburg SC just got relegated, though, from the top flight of the Bundesliga to the 2nd division. Mark Followell, Kobe Jones here on Fox Sports 1. Coverage of the Under-20 World Cup at the Northland Events Center in Whangarei, New Zealand. Jan Nai-U scored for Myanmar in the 9th minute, slammed it home from close range off a corner that Steffen couldn't punch clear. And then off another corner, a slight redirect by Cameron Carter-Vickers set up Mackie Tall at the back post as he drives in the U.S. and their first goal of the tournament. Now Emerson Hyman. It was 1v1 against Chow Min-U. Trying to release Hyman down the right side. Nanda Chow. Blocked by Hyman. Almost falls to Rabin in the box. But Myanmar able to elude 2 U.S. players in the attack. And now Miazga up over the top with the foul. Not happy about it, as we can tell.
With the shake of his head. I got to agree. I got to agree with Miazga because you actually have Tampai trying to back into him and hold him off. And he's allowed to try to battle for that position. I think he wins that header cleanly.
Restart for the halfway line. Mong Mong Sol playing out of the right. Here's Ong Tu again. He's had plenty of touches here in the opening 32 minutes of the match. A lot of experience at the youth levels for Myanmar. Ong Tu, number 9 for Myanmar. 27 youth caps for Myanmar. The long throw. Joel Senora is chasing. However, it's going to be a goal kick. The last touch was by Myanmar. Senora was chasing as if he thought a corner was about to be conceded. Looking to find Mackie Tall through the middle. Intervention by Myanmar. Step up by Acosta. Able to play it off the feet of Ong Tu, and now a challenge right at the halfway line. Marky Delgado on the end of it.
The United States still seem a little bit off in the midfield with their passing, that it doesn't seem quite right. Players running away when the player with the ball is expecting a short come to the ball. While Myanmar, their possession, it seems to be much better, much quicker, much sharper at this point.
Mackie Tall holds it up with his back to goal, and then you see the challenge on the right-hand side here at the 34th minute that will lead to another set piece. Bernard Camille, the referee, has been busy in this first 35 minutes.
As there's been a lot of fouls as Tall goes down. This is the perfect opportunity because we've seen 2 set pieces, 2 corner kicks given up for goals, and these have been the most dangerous chances for both sides.
This is very close to the same spot where Hyman had a free kick a moment ago that was blocked by the wall. But his follow-up volley was able to knife through traffic right to the keeper for Myanmar, Mew Min Lot. After getting that last attempt blocked by the wall, we'll see what his choice is here. Goes over the wall, back post. Miazga heads it across. Still free as Rubin had a miss hit. Now Jordan Allen tries a side volley. And Nanda Chiao with the desperation clearance.
And this is how you want to do it if you're the United States. You have Matt Miazga at the back post with his size. He's going to beat anybody out there, and he's able to put that back across the face, and not one, but two opportunities for the United States with shots towards goal.
Rubio Rubin just could not get the power on that shot that he wanted. You saw the punch by Lott, and that kept it away from any sort of realistic opportunity to score for Mackey Tall. Right back, though, to the United States after the throw by Myanmar. There's Marky Delgado. Rubin down the right. Rubin takes it into traffic. One back by the United States. Good work here by Joel Senora. Back heels to Acosta. Hyndman. Delgado. 50-50 ball here. Jordan Allen won it. Emerson Hyndman couldn't win the header. However, the U.S. comes away with possession. Shaq Moore. Going to go back and reorganize as Myanmar presses up high. Delgado sprays it to the right.
That's a little bit better by the United States, actually holding possession and seeing that it isn't on, so bringing it back to the back line. On the other hand, trying to continue to hit the balls over the top from the back line has been trouble. They need to get it into the midfield, get it into Hyndman, get it into Senora.
And maybe an opportunity to do that is coming here. Jordan Allen turns back, cuts in, looking for Mackey Tall. Mumin Lott goes down after he's able to get enough of a punch to keep Mackey Tall from getting onto the end of it at the back post. Right back to the United States. Mumin Lott limping back into goal for Myanmar. Meanwhile, Joel Senora is down here in the 37th minute for the United States.
And this is just a late tackle. Looks like from Sol to come on the Senora. And I'm not sure what Lott is complaining about on that. That's a fair challenge. I think he's saying that Tall might have just connected with his leg a little bit. And as a goalkeeper goes down, the referee has to stop it and he can get looked at.
Mumin Lott, again, 20 caps for Myanmar at the under-20 level. The 20-year-old keeper. Gerd Saizi, their head coach. Myanmar debuting for the first time at any level in a World Cup. And also winners of the Southeast Asian Nations Youth Football Tournament last August as well. They won all 6 matches. Whatever you want to say about the level of competition they were facing, they won all 6. Here's another look at Mumin Lott, who finally goes down after getting back into goal off that collision with Mackey Tall, the goal scorer for the United States. And you remember the late challenge here, Kobe, has led to Emerson Hyndman with the free kick. Bat post. Latt comes out to punch. And it's brought down by Nanda Chiao. Now Chiao drives it cross field. Read well by Emerson Hyndman. Hyndman upended. Nudged back by Myanmar. They have possession. And once again, we got a player here badly bleeding, as we can see. Tia Tiao Ong, number 17 for Myanmar. Not sure if that was a bloody nose or a busted lip, but nonetheless, obviously going to head off for attention here. And you wonder if that's going to be something that they can stop, bleeding-wise. From his own player, from his keeper.
Yeah, the keeper just goes into him. And they always say when the keeper goes up, you have to take out, you have to get the ball and take out anybody that's in the way, even your own man. And that seems to be exactly what happens. By the way he was holding his head back, I bet it was probably his nose that's probably bleeding so much, so profusely out there. And
the United States, of course, will play the ball back to Myanmar here for possession after their player went off with the injury. Well, what do you look for here in the final 5 minutes of the first half, Kobe, for the United States, who clearly, after some early issues, has gotten back on the front foot?
I think the United States has settled down for a little bit, and what they need to look for is Hyndman in the middle. He's probably been the best player as far as controlling the game for the United States. If you can get him the ball in the middle and then look for the through balls and the balls over the top, I think the United States will be much more dangerous.
Ong Tu and Mong Sol on the right side looking to win the ball, but Acosta will throw here for the United States. Acosta was on the roster for the 2013 Under-20 World Cup squad, but did not appear in any of the 3 group stage matches. Emerson Hyndman with some time and space. Ong Tu was lurking to close him down. Down the left to Acosta, but he was offside. Flag goes up. 3rd offside of the first half for the United States.
And that's the positioning. Acosta's got to do better to make sure that he's in an onside position, and he's standing in an offside position, and he's got to just take a glance down the line. He has everything in front of him to make sure that he's onside, so he has to time that run a bit better.
New Zealand will be next for the United States, then Ukraine to close group play. New Zealand and Ukraine started the tournament with a goalless draw in Auckland earlier. New Zealand had some great chances, though, in the second half. One of their center backs, Sam Brotherton, had a header go just wide very early in second half stoppage time that he'll be having nightmares about. He had an open half of goal and was at close range.
It should have been a goal.
New Zealand has hosted a youth tournament before, the Under-17 World Cup in 1999. U.S. finished 4th place, by the way, in that tournament. 20th Under-20 World Cup, 14th time for the United States. 4th their best finish in 1989 in Saudi Arabia. That was Rubio Rubin. And that ball over the byline for a corner. Last touch by Myanmar's Mong Sol, number 8. And we'll see if the delivery of Emerson Hyndman could pay off again.
There was a quality run by Rubin. As we've seen just a little bit of hesitation by Tai Ong. He gets caught in the wrong position quite a few times.
Hyndman serves it nicely, swinging out. Now going with the overhead kick. Rubio Rubin right into the stomach of Mu Min Lat.
As this ball comes in, I mean, look at the players that are unmarked by the United States. And look at Rubin. He's standing there. If someone talks to him, I mean, it's a pretty play. But if someone talks to him, he can trap this. He can bring this down and have a clear shot because no one from Myanmar is near him.
3 unmarked players in the box for the United States, including Rubin. His bicycle kick attempt, ambitious though it was, right in to the stomach of the keeper, Lat. Now Delgado. U.S. still has an opportunity here in the final minutes of the first half to recover and go in front. Clearly they've had the better of the chances. Oh, and now we see that Tia Tiao Ong is coming back on here for Myanmar. So the very bad nosebleed that it appeared he had has been sufficiently taken care of. He was off probably for at least 3 or 4 minutes for Myanmar. Now Myanmar building up here, trying to hit back at the United States. Ong Tu. Carter Vickers is back. Turns away from Mong Sol nicely. And he works with Jordan Allen in the back. And Delgado.
And Myanmar really dropping off now towards the end of this half and just letting the United States have the ball in their own defensive third. They're just really going to start that first line of defense at midfield to shorten up the field as much as possible.
Over the top, Delgado's ball looking for Naki Tall. Now this settles to Acosta. Saw Myanmar out off his line and tried to sneak one past him with the chip from long range.
As this ball goes over the top, and this is where you want to hit those balls over the top, is it really puts the goalkeeper and the defense in a tough situation, and then as Acosta comes through, just doesn't get enough of it because, look, Myanmar, he was off his line. There was a great opportunity to chip him there.
Miazga twice. This is the second time that he feels like a player has been backing into him when he's been rising over for a header, and he's been the player called for the foul. You can see his frustration about it. Tab Ramos off to restart now. 2 minutes of added time at the end of the first half. Myanmar has a chance here, but Marquis Delgado chest it down in the box. Kellen Acosta to Jordan Allen. Now Allen looking for a through ball. Mackey Tall has found himself in a lot of dangerous positions. But that through ball could not make its way through the Myanmar defense to Mackey Tall.
Yeah, Mackey Tall has a lot of space where he is actually 5 yards on either side of him, and he's behind defenders that aren't even glancing at where he is. So if the United States can find a little through ball, he's going to be able to run on that and probably put a few defenders behind him.
He scored off a corner, but certainly in the run of play, you can see that there could be some very nice goal-scoring opportunities as the match unfolds for Mackey Tall. And finally, the foul given as Rubin went down to ground for a couple of seconds before the whistle blew. But the United States not able to generate an opportunity to go at goal here.
And maybe not the best decision by Rubin to start that one off early. You have to understand set pieces and set plays. You've had the better of it. Get your big men forward. Get Carter Vickers. Get Miazga forward. Try to take advantage of every set piece opportunity.
What would you expect as the first half comes to a close? What's the message for Tab Ramos to the team in the locker room at halftime?
It's to get into that final third, get the ball at the feet, draw fouls if you can. And look, the energy of Myanmar has fallen off as the game has continued on. Continue to push and put some more pressure on their defense because they're a little bit suspect in the back.
Well, that team talk will be coming here in just a moment. As a matter of fact, that's it. End of the first half for the United States and Myanmar.
Well, I think this was a great half. I think that first goal by Myanmar really shocked the United States and actually brought them out of their shell and forced them to play a little bit more and be aggressive.
In Whangarei, New Zealand, it's Group A. The United States and Myanmar in the 20th edition of the FIFA Under-20 World Cup. And through the first 45 minutes, the United States, as Kobe said, probably shocked by an early goal from Myanmar. However, they came back to equalize 8 minutes later. The goal was scored by Mackey Tall. It was off a corner. Took a deflection off Cameron Carter-Vickers in the box, and there's Mackey Tall slamming it home. It's 1-1, the United States and Myanmar. Stay with us on Fox Sports 1.